Tienes que aprenderlo solo. En inglés, tú también.
Dame uno por si acaso, yo entiendo que yo puedo entenderlo bien, pero a lo mejor alguna palabra específica.
Ok, entonces si tienes que hacer alguna pregunta, la puedes hacer en español, el traductor se activa y te lo traduce, ¿ok? Okay, now.
Okay, so here I go. I am going to share my screen. And, oops, I'm in the wrong place here.
Arriba. Tiene un botoncito.
Okay. So I sent this and I just sent it before the meeting. So I'm sorry for those that don't have it yet. This is the training checklist that I am hoping to cover today. And we'll go through at the end of this part. I have blocked out a few that these can be done later. And all up until this page is course management. And then the next section is registration and grade management. And that will probably be all that we will be able to cover today. And then there will be another one on student records. And I think that's going to be all for today. So it's a lot. And if you don't have it now, that's okay. You can print it and look at this later and watch the recording. But now I'm going to come. The first thing we're going to cover is rooms and buildings. So let's talk a little bit about that. Here is your test SONA system. And if I look over here under the courses, just for anybody who doesn't know, these are people in the system and their records, including students, faculty, staff, applicants. These are courses in our system, not the courses that the people took. That's up here in the user history. But in the courses, these are courses we teach at our school. This is all financial information, the billing, the reports, all of that. Systems, I'm going up and down here, this gray part. Systems is for configuration and bulk processes. And then reports is all the reports. So I'm going to go right now to courses, and we have a search. You also have a history that will show you all the courses you recently went to look at. This is a course section, and you know it's a section because there's a school year and a semester. 2025-26 1 is the fall of 25. So semester 1 is fall. This one is a course master. In SONIS, you have the course that says, this is a course that we teach at our school. And then the sections are what you enroll students in. This one in the fall, this one in the spring, this one Annabella taught, this one somebody else taught. That's the section. So if I come and I look in your courses, in your test system, these are all the records that have been converted. And we see 577 courses. And you can search just for one. Like if I start saying maybe there's something that starts with chiropractic, no, nothing starts with CH. But this has CH in the name. So that's why these come up.
Oh.
If I say MED here, then maybe I have some courses, some Med 101, Med in in the title. So that's how the search works. And then we're going to come back to look at the details of every course. Well, actually, maybe I'll do that now. And they're all the same. So it's a link. If you click on the link, it tells you the name of the course, what division, what level, and see, so this is a graduate level course, not chiropractic, not medicine, just graduate. And maybe some of these other divisions are for people, not for courses. So you might have a chiropractic student taking a graduate level course. Oops. Let me go put that back the way it was. I'm going to show you the reset button. If you make a change and you say, I didn't want to do that, the reset button puts everything back the way it was. As long as you have not submitted. Submit button says, maybe I make a change and I submit. So that's the difference here. And of course, delete button. Most of the time, you don't want to delete your courses. They are tied now to sections and enrollments. But when we build some test courses, maybe then you want to delete. So this is a course, it says the name, the CIP code, it's all of these, division, department, level. The type of course is just a regular course, but there are other types when you're building a new course. And then very important is, what do we charge? Well, we just charge tuition for this course. And down here, there's all these check boxes. Do you allow it to repeat for credit? Is it a pass-fail course? Every single page in Sonus has the question mark for help. So the help document will give you more information about what some of these are for. If you used to have a course, but you're not going to teach it anymore at the school, you make it inactive and you can update the date. If there's courses that you don't want people to see when they are looking at your list of courses, and there's a way to do that from the front public-facing page, you can check this box. Period grades. I'm just going to tell you right now, this is a custom checkbox for an Oklahoma Tech Center. You don't need this. The cost, we're going to always have it at 0 because you charge for the semester, for the program they're in. You don't charge for a course. But you do need to tell Sonus how many credits for this course. Excuse me. We'll talk a little bit about affiliations, but if you have something like, international rates that are higher than the standard, then you can create an affiliation. And for those you would say, if somebody takes this course and they have, they're a non-resident, let's say, maybe they get charged more. But that, I think you're going to set up in the flat rates. And that's really topics for the finance people. I just want the people in this room to know what it's for. Sonus does not require any of these other these fields. The class hours, practice, clock hours, any of that. You can use them if you want to track internally, but there aren't any reports that give you that information. There's a lot of reports that will show you how many credits the courses are that the students took. And then continuing ed, you don't really have continuing ed that I know of right now. Even if you do, that will be a future training. Are the courses financial aid eligible? I'm going to guess that most of them are. And I'm going to say that I will have to talk to Daniel to update the records because I don't think he converted them as financial aid eligible. Let me make a note real quick. He can change that right away because otherwise somebody has to go 577 times, check a box and hit submit, right? Eligible. Okay. Then if there are prerequisites or co-requisites for any course, you can select them here. And then SONUS will, when somebody is registering or being registered for the course, if they didn't already take the prerequisite, SONUS will not let them register. A registrar can override, there can be override privileges, but the students cannot override a missing prerequisite. And even a registrar, maybe an assistant or some, a student helper, they might not have the privilege to override anyway. So that's a real quick view of the course record. And now I'm going to go back over here to the search. As soon as I click in the right place. Oh, there we go. It just was taking a while. I want to search for sections. I want to show you what's already here and what is not here that I want to cover next in training. So these are all the school years. This is the format that SONUS uses for a school year. 25-26, the academic year starts in the fall of 2025 and ends with the summer of 2026, and then it's the next academic year. So if I look even a couple of years back, we have converted this data for you. And I say, show me everything that you was taught in the spring of 25, right? 24, 25. And I have others. I can say only the things that a particular teacher taught or something like that. But we didn't convert those values. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's everything that was taught in the spring, 189 course sections. And this is what's important. So let me open this one. You can see who taught the course. You can see when it started and ended, whether it was online or not. It says it was held in the main campus in the spring of the 24-25 section, school year. 4 people took the course, and you can add textbooks to the course if you have them in the system. We did not convert textbooks, but they can be added. This says there's room for 30 people in the class, but 4 people took it. I think use gradebook, never mind about that. Some of these others, all dates, default, and no class calendars, those will be for a future more advanced training once you already know all about the section. These allow you to say, and we didn't convert any of this, but when you're building a new section, maybe this is a course that only the people in biomedical science can take it, that's their program. Then you can set restrictions. And then if I am enrolling online and I am in a different program, SONUS will not let me take this course section. You don't have to use these. They can be blank. But also you can say there's a restriction. Only our PhD first year people can take this class. Only our undergraduate people can take this class. And even majors and minors, you can restrict the course sections to students of a specific program, level, or major. Further down, you will see we did not create meetings. Meetings are this is what you do in SONUS when you are creating a new course section to say, this course was being taught by Annabella on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 3 in the afternoon in room 101. Well, that's what we're going to need, not for spring 26, because we're getting ready to already even use system tools to bulk load those sections, to bulk load those enrollments, and to bulk load those grades, because it's already over. And if you have anything for summer, also, by the time you go live, it's already going to be over. But you're going to want to build your courses for the fall term, and you're going to want to let people know who's teaching it, what time and day, and where. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, and it's the first thing here on my training checklist, is rooms and buildings. So, and not all of you will always have access to these pages, but Senor Maldonado can give them to you, or you can sit and work together to populate these tables. I'm going to click on systems, and I'm just going to search for room, because that's going to bring me the rooms and buildings table. Now, the way SONUS works is first you have to add the buildings, and then you add rooms in the building. So I see that in your test system, we already have a building of campus, a main campus, and a weight rotation. So I'm going to say main campus. And then, are there other buildings where courses are held at UCC that
Yes.
you identify for students and staff?
Cubic. C-U-M-I.
C-U-M-I-C.
C.
So
Cubic.
So what does that stand for?
Eso,
Or do I just do it like that? Here's the code.
no, Centro Universitario Medicina Complementaria.
C-U-M-I-C.
It's a center of complementary medicine.
Center of C-U-M-I-C. Here, let me get the Center of, say again?
Complementary medicine.
Hey, I'm gonna let somebody, I can't just, something in medicine.
Complementary medicine,
Complementary?
Yes,
medicine.
that is.
Is that right?
We're gonna check and then I'm gonna let you the correct.
Yes, but
Okay.
it's in this way.
Mhm.
Okay, and CUMIC, and you can even make it here. You can make them the same. Most of the time, people will say like, oh, I don't know, building A, and then over here might say, you know, I can't even think, the Flores building, you know. Okay, so over here, it's not is administrative building or a lecture hall, or it's just a building with courses, right? So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but you can put the address and all of that. Sanas doesn't need all of that. What we need to know is how many rooms in that building
Mhm.
that courses are held.
¿Como cuánto me dijo? Como 5 o 6.
Sí, 6.
Como 5.
6? I'll say 6, so
And this one have how many capacity?
Cada uno. Para 30, 40 estudiantes.
Sí,
Porque
40
son de
students.
COVID.
we just go like this. This can be changed, but I want you to see where that will work. And
Mhm.
you can add attributes. Those are going to be separate tables where if you want to say, this is the building with the swimming pool. Maybe, I don't think it is, but you could add those and say, maybe it's a lab, maybe it's, the building with the movie projector, whatever. But I'm adding this building to your system. And now I'm going to go back. And I'm going to now, let's look over here and let's start with your main campus. And if I click on the rooms, is this for real? This was already here, Salon 204.
Yes,
Is that a room in the main building?
in the main building. Yes.
Yes. Are there other rooms where courses are held in the main building?
201, 206.
Okay. What's the matter with my mouse? Come on, mouse. Okay, there I go. So now I add a room. And this room is 201. And I'm going to give the code M201. Why? Because if there's a 201 in another building, the code has to be unique, right? So the code, I'll call it M for main campus. Room 201 is good enough. And then the seat would be, how many people fit in that room? About 30. How many?
¿Qué serán
Efraín, en 201 ¿caben cuánto?
Como 80.
I'm sorry.
80 students, 80.
Oh,
el
18.
El que es eso sí.
No, el 201, no.
Por eso, porque no existe 201.
No, el 204
Ajá.
es el grande, donde caben 80. El 201 caben como 30. ¿no?
30.
¿Cuál es ese también?
Ese es el que está en la esquina.
30.
203, el de imagen.
No, el donde están las mesas, mentira.
Ah, ese es el de aquí.
Donde están las mesas de Kiro.
Arriba.
Y más o menos ahí hay como 30 personas.
Entonces, ¿cómo?
Yes.
Porque no tiene traducción.
So this is good. And we can always change it. We can always change it. You just have to come back into these records and update it and submit. But what I am trying to do is help you see that you, as a group, as a team, before you start building their course sections for the fall semester, you're going to have to build the rooms where those courses are held. You have the faculty already. Sanas will give you a drops for the time of day and the days of the week, but the where is important for students to know where to go for the class. So every time you just keep adding more rooms and then more rooms in the main campus building, and then you use this link back here, and you want to add rooms for this other building, so that here again, I might make the code U201. I don't know what's the room that is held in that room, in that building. Does it have a 201 or a lecture hall, or what do you call it?
Otro número para
204.
204. 204?
Pues ya lo tiene.
Okay.
Sí, ya estaba creado.
No, 204 was already created. ¿Qué otro más tiene?
203.
203.
203.
This is at this other center though, right? This is a different building. This is the campus. Yeah.
No, it is in the main campus.
In the main campus building?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let me cancel this and go back over here and come back over here.
The main campus.
And then over here, main campus building. Oh, that's the building. What am I doing? Let me go back. Return. I want rooms in the main campus building. I hope you are seeing how I'm navigating. That's the main thing, because the data entry, that's just going to be somebody's room work to do. But you said room 203, I'm calling it M203. Again, the only reason I'm doing this is because the codes have to be unique. If you have another building and it has a room 203, SONIS will tell you, well, you already have 203, but that's what that's all about. And how much room in that one? Maybe 30 people, maybe not. You can update me later. You can come and change it or fix it. Maybe that's a smaller room. I just want you to see how we get the rooms and the buildings in the system. But we're not going to do them all in this training. You're going to have to do that outside of the training.
Okay.
Any questions?
So it means that you can have two rooms with the same number, but with particularity that you have to add a special letter, different one for each from each other. For example, I could have M203 and P203.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Because and the idea is that the different 203 would usually it's in a different building. But I don't know if I made no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to come back here to the beginning. I want to make sure this should be all the buildings, and they're all going to be on the main campus, right? All the buildings, but you have your main campus buildings. And then if you, so we added a building, I thought we added that, yeah, we added this CUMIC. I don't know why it's not showing up here. Something is wrong there, and I'll have to find out, but you should see it here. We do see it here, so that you can add rooms to that building. If any classes are taught in this building, right now we only have, I think, one room, or maybe we didn't add any rooms yet.
Oh.
We just added the building.
Mhm.
So hopefully that makes sense. And again, you can always use the question mark. And there's all kinds of documentation because there's only so much that I can tell and show in a 2-hour training, but this tells you everything that I'm going through. The screenshots are old, but the content is correct. So just so you know that you always, if you aren't sure, you can always hit that question mark. Now, we have in the Sonnet system a couple of rooms, a lot of faculty. We have days and times of, days of the week and times of day always. So if I come over here and now I'm going to search for sections, but in spring of 25-26. Did we get these in already? Do you know? Well, let's find out. Because we did a copy. Oh, no. See, we were going to copy, and I think I did a previous training where your team was going to copy everything from last spring to this spring. Do you remember that, some of you? Okay. Well, I guess we'll just worry about I was going to show you, and I guess I can with this one. There's one that we copied. We copied one course, but there's no meetings, right? So this is a course that actually happened this spring, right? It was called Introduction to Experimental Design. It was taught by Diana Fernandez Santos. She started it in January and it finished in May. I'm going to use this as an example to say, where do we know what day and time? Because that's what you have to do. And I'm going to go right back. You add meetings. So if I add a meeting, I can look for a room at a certain day and time. Or since and I'll show you the room finder in a minute, but let's just pretend she only taught this course on Mondays. And she taught it and it started at 9 in the morning. I'm just making this up because anyway, this course already ended. Started at 9 and went till maybe 11. And then here is what's important. Oh, it's not finding them. I'm going to have to talk to Daniel because there's a problem. There's a problem with the conversion because you can't create a meeting until you have selected the room. And even though it's here, let's try the room finder. I'm going to try the room finder and show you how it works. So I'm saying maybe because the dates are old. So I'm going to say, let me just try it. 06/01/2026 to 07/01/2026. And I'm looking for a room that starts at 9 and ends at 11 on Mondays. Here they are here. And I say, just give me a room on the main campus, right? And when I do that and I submit, it should come back and tell me, well, you have this room available and this room available and this room available. Any of those rooms you can pick. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I'm just gonna say 201. And now it should have filled out the room. That is so bizarre. Let me see if it, I think it's gonna tell me I need a room. Oh, it's probably, yeah, fill in a room. So I apologize. I did want to show you the room finder, and this will be helpful. Going forward, this is a fast way to find an empty room. Or, like I just did, it will even show you rooms that are already in use, but maybe you can, you're the registrar's office. You say, no, that room, I want to use, I'll put what that class in that room somewhere else. I want to use this room. And that room finder lets you do all of those things. So I couldn't really show you because something is not working. So let me make a note here for Daniel. Rooms not showing. And I will send an email to Senor Maldonado when that's fixed, because we can use, and I'm going to do a little refresher now. We can use the section copy to copy everything that was taught last spring, right? In the spring of 25, we said we would take a copy all of it to the spring of 26 so that you can put your people, and now we're going to say spring of 26, and you said it started on the 7th. Oops. 2026. May, I don't know, 18, 20. When did your spring term start and end? Is this right?
Yeah, January 7th, and it ends in May 15.
15.
It's okay.
Okay. I wanted your team to do this because you know what got taught. Maybe you didn't teach all those things this spring, even though you did in the spring of 25. I don't know that. That is why this copy was for your team to do. But I can copy them all right now. You're going to have to put those enrollments. That's all that special session we had that has more to do with spreadsheets. So I didn't know if your team wanted to uncheck some of these things. You know, maybe we didn't teach UCC 518 in this spring of 2026. Do you know what I'm asking you to do? Am I making sense that somebody that is in the registrar's office needs to review this list, uncheck anything that did not get taught in the spring of 26, and uncheck the boxes, and then build anything that was taught that is not on the list. Do we know who's going to do this?
The registrar office. All of it.
All of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
A mí me gusta. Yo soy.
Estos bombazos, yo necesito un café.
Okay. Well, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let you do it. And then those are all okay with no that, the spring of 26 is over. You don't need a room and a day and a time and a who taught it. But fall of 26, you're gonna need. So if I can ask you and show you something that will be taught this fall. What will you teach this fall? One course, any course?
Medicina primer año, luego tercer año.
Does this get taught in the fall? Sectional anatomy? Oh, these are transfer courses. That's a transfer course. Why is it giving me transfer courses?
Sectional anatomy.
Here we go.
Eso no tiene horario.
Does this get taught in the fall?
Introduction to experimentalism. Esa es de ciencia biomédica.
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta? De eso que ella está hablando. Tengo una pregunta. Ok, me escucha, traductor. Ok, la pregunta referente a eso mismo que ella está haciendo. Ok, vamos a suponer que, yo tengo un catálogo institucional, ¿verdad? Nosotros en ese catálogo sugerimos cuáles son las clases que se dan en el primer año, en el segundo año, en el tercer año y whatever. Pero también regularmente, aunque no están en el catálogo, hay unas clases que se dan en el primer semestre y otras en el segundo. Y esto ha sido así desde que yo estoy aquí. Y esto se repite no solamente aquí, se repite en otras instituciones educativas. Bien, la pregunta es si hay una forma en SONIS que nosotros podamos decir, esta clase se da en el primer año, en el primer semestre de medicina, y así sucesivamente. Identificarlas por el semestre. ¿Por qué? Porque, por ejemplo, si nosotros vamos a, por ejemplo, a hacer queremos crear las clases en el término académico por un bloque, para no ir una por una, pues dice, ok, mira, me vas a poner primer año, primer semestre.
Dame la primera parte.
Perdón.
Okay. Yes, they have the institutional courses. They have a catalog that sets the institutional courses for all 4, 2, 3 years. They're already set. But on top of that, they have additional courses that they suggest people may take that may not be included in that institutional catalog. So, is it possible to specify, for example, this course will be taught the first semester of the first year, and do that with all the courses that are offered in different semesters and years, and create some kind of blocks of courses that will be repeated constantly as part of the institutional offering that they have. There is a second comment to that. Ahora, la segunda parte.
I think so. I think there is a way to do it. I have to look at the copy again. But let me take a look over here. Let me go back to the copy and see how it wants to do that. It wants to do that by campus division department. So they could create a separate campus for certain courses, a special division for certain courses, or a special department for those certain courses. And then you would copy them that way. So instead of just saying, I'm going to copy everything from fall 25 to fall 26, maybe I only copy from the main campus the courses that are medicine, that are for biomedical sciences or something like that. I don't know if this is going to give me anything, but let's see. No records. But they could have, your team can build divisions and departments that you use for that purpose, for putting the courses in blocks. And then if I come back over here to a course, any course, now this is the section, and SUNES keeps the last course that you were looking at up here in a quick link to get back to the record. Now I'm looking at a section, but as soon as I come to courses, now I can go to the course master, right? And in the master, I have a memo I can use that I can say, this course is recommended for year 1 students in chiropractic. You know what I mean? You can put whatever you want there, if that makes sense. But then for identifying the courses, you might want to use department or graduate and copy them in blocks that way. Did that answer the question? Is that what, did I understand the question well?
Está bien, así es que lo hace, está bien, yo entiendo.
Let me switch to Spanish, Annabelle. La forma que nosotros lo hacemos en Jense X ahora mismo, que copiamos del semestre de fall del año anterior, lo copiamos a este y me trae los cursos. Es la vía que ya te está trayendo que te puede hacer.
Correcto.
Pero la pregunta que tú estás haciendo en relación a que si yo por de facto puedo decir, yo voy a dar medicina y el primer año de medicina voy a dar estos cursos en fall, estos cursos en spring. Exacto. Y el segundo año doy estos cursos. Exacto. Y los voy llevando de la mano. Es la pregunta que tenemos sobre la mesa. Annabelle, that
yeah.
we have the choice to previously or at the origin identify my course catalog and identify these courses in for fall the first years and spring the first years. These others is from the fall the first second years and the spring the second years and so forth, to make like a schedule for all the courses that the student is supposed to take in order to obtain the degree.
You're talking about what SUNES calls the degree audit. The degree
Eso
audit
que llaman una
is,
auditoría de grado.
yeah, the degree audit is what you build in SUNES. That we can look at that later, but it's for the it follows the catalog, and that's what you say. You build first year medical students have to take these courses. Mm-hmm. Second semester, they have to take these courses. Now they're second year. Now they have to take these ones and these ones all through. And the degree audit, which is not what we are talking about for registering and for building courses. The degree audit is a report that says, show me all the students in the medical program and who has completed the things they needed to complete, or show me all the first year students, who finished, who didn't finish, who passed all their courses. That's a different way that SUNES does that, I guess, than what, it's not part of building the courses.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to show you, how to build the courses, because you need to get your fall semester courses in SUNES. And you can even copy them, like I showed you, from last fall to this fall. And then when you do that, you're going to search for them, and you're going to add meetings, and you're going to add an instructor, and you're going to add all of that. But first you have to at least copy them across.
Yes.
So, you know, once you have copied them, if I come over here, if we copy, well, we don't have it anyway, but once we copy, so let's just pretend this is spring of 26 that I'm going to bring in. We copied everything. We copied all the course sections and there they all are. Now you can come in. If you didn't teach it, there's nobody enrolled in it or anything, you can just delete it. But if you need to add a new course, that's the part I was going to try to get to today. If you, maybe there's a new course that, you know, that you have to know how to add a course, or maybe you need another section because the one got full. Maybe that doesn't happen at your school, and that's okay. But that's what I'm saying. We're going to copy last fall to this fall, and then you have to start saying, where are we teaching it? Who is teaching it? What day and what time? So that you can register, or that's the part I still don't know. Are you going to have your students registering themselves online, or are you going to register them, the registrar's department?
The second one, we make a pre-enrollment by academic program, and then the student just see the courses and then accept or decline.
Okay, so you're just gonna, so let's, I mean, we can come back to the sections if you want later, and talk more about how, I think you just need to start copying across, and then we can talk about and revisit adding the details for the fall courses, so that your faculty too, they need to know, what am I teaching? But let's talk about how you will register a student. So I'm coming to the users, and I'm coming to here's all, these are students that have been looked at recently, or I could search, right? I could search for a student, maybe, I don't know, that looks like there's a lot of Acevedos. Acevedo, I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to say, I only want students. I'm trying to show you now using the search so that you don't have to look at 2,300 people. And maybe I only want chiropractic students. Maybe I don't have any Acevedos. Let's see. No, I don't have one. So let me try.
Medicine.
Oh, medicine. Well, I was going to say all of them, but let me just go up. So now I have 10 students. I can see their divisions. I see several are in the School of Medicine, 2 in the School of Medicine. So now I'm going to take this student and I'm going to register her. So I click on her name. This is what Sonus does. These are the placeholders. So the last student that you were working with and the last class that you were working with, Sonus keeps them at the top of the page. If I go somewhere else, back to section copy, I can come right back to Jocelyn's records by clicking here. Okay, these are called the breadcrumbs, and these will usually take you back to the page. So you have some quick ways to get around in the system. Now I'm going to look at Jocelyn. So again, clicking on users, All of these, Jocelyn's address, Jocelyn's advisors, her biographic page, that's the one we're looking at right now. Her first name, her last name, her ethnicity, all of that. Schedules for various years, and on and on. There's so many that I would never have time to look at them all. I want you to look at them all. But what I want to do is I'm going to start typing a reg, and I can register her. And if I look at registration, that's the problem, is that we're registering for fall of 26-27, but we only have 2 classes. We need all your classes to get copied over and you know, have the time and day and all of that. But if you want to register students for classes, you just pick the class. And then it says, oh, she needs permission, but I have an override because I have the master profile. I'm gonna get rid of this at the end, but I want you to see how. So if I say permission given, then it says she's already enrolled. It makes me go back. But it did put her in. Maybe she had something else at a different time. I'm not sure. Here, let me just tell you something right now. Here is registration, the way it works now in SONUS 2025. You'll select your student, and then you'll have all the courses listed here, and there is a search. You should be able to search. I don't see it turned on. I'll try to turn that on for you so you can search for a word or a course and not have to go scrolling through 500 courses. With SONUS 2026, this is new and improved, and there's check boxes. There's still a search, but now you can register for 6 classes or 4 classes at the same time. Right now, you would have to pick them all. And see, this says, oh, there's already 48 people in here. And it's asking me, do you want to overbook the course? I'm going to say okay, because I just want you to see. I'm going to register her anyway. It's restricted, permission given. You must have some permission setting that maybe we need to undo. I'm not sure. So down here would be a long list of all the courses that you are offering in the fall. As you select them, one at a time, they show up here. These are the pending courses that I'm registering for Jocelyn. And then I can, once I select all the courses, I continue. And then SONUS gives me a chance to change credits if I want or anything, or say she's only taking it for pass-fail. Most of the time, nothing changes, and we continue again. And then I could generate charges or not. And we're going to post the courses. Now, SONUS says, these are the courses that Jocelyn has registered for the fall of 26-27. And if I come to Jocelyn's records and I say courses, and I look here at her courses, these are not the courses at our school when I was here. Now these are her courses. And you can see, here's everything she took in the fall of 25. This is true converted data, and we are waiting for those grades as we speak. And these are her enrollments for fall of 26. She probably was enrolled in the spring too, but we still don't have that. I'm telling you, I need your team to get ready and get moving with the copying and the grades and all of that. Anyway, and now she's enrolled. She's enrolled for 4 credits for fall. And as a registrar, you can always come in here. This is where 1 by 1 we put a grade, but there's places for the faculty to enter their own grades. There's places to import all the grades, and there's ways to make them all official in bulk. But the way a course even ever shows on a transcript is it has a grade, it says they are enrolled, and it has been made official. And then this course will be included in her GPA. It will show on the transcript, and it will show a grade of B. Now, let's say, oh no, that was all wrong. That was somebody else. You are the registrar's office. You have the ability that other departments do not have to make the grade unofficial again. We have grade archiving turned on so that you will always know when somebody changed a grade, when did they change the grade, who did it, what was it before, what was it after. But in this case, I'm not going to change the grade. I want to show you, oh, she withdrew from this course. She didn't finish it. You have to change the enroll code. You have to give a grade, usually of W, or if it's W failing or passing, if whatever makes sense. Now you make that official. And when you do that, now it shows on the transcript, here's that archiving saying that I changed it.
Awesome.
And then there's no refund. It gives you that part is for the finance people, because a lot of schools, if you withdraw, in the first 2 weeks or something, there's a refund or a credit. So this is how you withdraw a student from a class. And this is not, the faculty cannot do this. This is a function of the registrar's office. Okay, then you are the registrar's office. I'm going to make it unofficial again. Going to submit. I've been changing this course all over. I'm going to say, no, they were enrolled for credit. I have to put a reason. I'm just putting something there. I'm changing it back. I'm getting rid of the grade. Go up. No grade. What I'm trying to show you is all of the capabilities registrar's office has for a student course, giving them the grade, making it official, withdrawing them from the course. Now that I withdrew, there's a history, but also you can just delete it, right? Well, it's probably not going to let me delete it because I have an archived grade. So I'll have Daniel remove that. so that we don't have junk records in your system. But if I come back again over here to the courses, I wanted to at least delete this one because that's not for real. I was just showing you. Oh, that's the one with the archived grade. I did the wrong one. This one. This one we can just delete it. When you delete it, there is a report that will show you deleted courses, but deleted courses do not show up on the transcript at all. Also, courses where the grade is not official. If it's not official, it will not show on the transcript either. Questions?
I have just a curiosity. As a matter of fact, I have just started, I've started yesterday working here. But, so it means that I really don't know the institutional policy concerning to, if, for example, if, talking about professors here, if for unexpected situation, if there is an unexpected situation in which, certain class started with certain professor, but for unexpected situation, that professor will not continue teaching that class. And just want to know, I know that I have just seen a list through a list box, the different name of the professor. And I just want to know if it's as simple as changing, selecting the new professor there.
Yes, exactly. That is
Okay.
exactly all you have to do. And I will show for everybody else that is looking here, but if I'm actually, I have a course section. Oh, I had one. I guess it went away. Okay, let me come back over here and go 24, 25. Well, I don't know if I can do it after it's already changed, but let's just see what I get. Here we keep coming to the same course. Yes. So you just say, and I'm not going to submit, so it won't change, but you say, oh, Diana cannot teach it or something happened. And you can also search, right? Because it can be, maybe it's Mendoza or Diaz Mendez. You know, you just change it and then you have to submit. And then what will happen is on the faculty portal, where Diana was seeing the course roster and her students and her courses, now Laura will see this class and Diana will not see it anymore.
Okay, and of course, it will provide also, in case none of those professors will be teaching that course, it will be possible to add a new professor that is coming from outside.
Yes. And
Okay,
if you, then you have to go to users and create a new user. And then you'll fill out all this page and it's pretty self-explanatory. And
Okay.
it's just 4 steps, but let me show you what's very, very important. You have to say they are faculty. Otherwise, they will not be able to be added to the list, the drop down that you see. They only the faculty that also have, and let me see if they have it here. Here. Oh, let me just, oh, I don't want to make up more junk information in your system, but the additional information should give you, are they an instructor? Because I'm going to cancel this and I'm going to search for Diana. What is it? Is her name Fernandez?
Yes.
Fernandez. Oh, well, here's somebody that's a faculty. I'll just use him. Same thing. They all have this biographic page, everybody does. Your staff records have a page that has your last name, your first name, and other information. But here is only the faculty status pages have this checkbox to say they are an instructor, maybe they are an advisor, and you can even have advisor types beyond academic advisors. But when you use the create a new user, if you still don't see them in the drop, come and check and make sure that these were checked. I'm thinking that they show up when you get to this part of the page, the additional information. You just keep on going, adding people, save and continue. Sonus does require a date of birth, the red asterisk, but you can just put in, 0101
Okay.
2000 or 1900 or whatever. You don't have to put
Okay,
their date of birth.
okay. One last question. I think
Yeah.
for me is the most important of all these. Let's think how I will ask this. It's a sensitive question. I was working somewhere at university level, and for some particular reason, someone changed a grade for a class,
Mhm.
and then illegally. I would like to know if the system of the program, the application platform, provide a person that it does a log describing everything that has been happening up to now, especially when, how, the time, who did it, to start some kind of investigation concerning to that rate.
All right. Well, we do have the grade archiving that I
Mhm.
just showed you. I'm going to cancel this. These are all more system configurations, and we can, as we go through our different departmental trainings, there may be departments that say to Mr. Maldonado or Efrain or Cornelio, we need this set on our system. But two big parts, configuration settings for the system is the web options. And the web options has a place, if I'm going to do a control F for, what is it called? It's called, I'm just going to, I'm typing archive because the reason my grade changes got archived like they did is because of this setting. So all the grade changes will be archived, just like I showed you. Who made the change? When was it made? What was it before the change? What was it after the change? And all through. But Sonus does save also in the database the last user and the date that a record was touched. Now, that doesn't give you every audit capability. There are some audit reports here. I think it's, yeah, there's reports here that will tell you who changed a cell phone or added a cell phone, who made changes, what did they do? And there is also a Cold Fusion log of administrator actions that I have been working with our director of product development to make it available in the system for users that need that information. It's not there now, but there's usually you can see who updated a record. Also on the systems, we have something called records by ID. So if I look at this person's records, but this is not user friendly. This is going to give you the database tables
Oh, I see.
and there's nothing in these tables, and here's some stuff in these tables, but off to the right is the operator, and the operator is the person that last updated that record. So you have some options, and you can always come to us via the support team if you have a problem, if something got updated and you need to know how did that happen or when or who. So let me come back to my sheet. I know this has been a little. We looked at rooms and buildings. We used the room finder. I've been performing course searches and course section searches all through. We looked at adding a course and all those fields on the course, the description, there's a schedule memo, the tuition code. We looked at all of those when I looked at the course. Let me ask you about textbooks. Do you have your students see when they're registered for courses, all the books they're going to need? Do you put your textbooks in the SANA system? Do you plan to do that?
No.
Okay, good. Good, because that's too much more setup. But if you ever decide in the future, just that you know that SANAs can do that. Also, I didn't mention course fees. Let me come back to your system real quick and find a course. The last course I was working with was this one. So this says, this is a course we teach at our school, right? I already said that it's the master course. But even though we charge tuition for the whole semester for just $30,000 to come to our school this semester. Also, you can have an extra fee for certain courses if you need to. Where did it go? Oh, no, I picked the wrong thing. Course fees, that's what I meant to click on. So this is where you can say, this course on top of the tuition, and maybe you don't have anything like that, but I want to show you, this is where you could say this has to have a lab fee, maybe an extra $150 or not. I just wanted you to know, because I was coming to my checklist, that you can add extra fees on top of tuition for certain courses, and even for certain course sections. I used to be training a long time ago, and I used to tell people, maybe you have a basic guitar class, just, intro to guitar. But then you have 4 sections and 4 different regular people. But for one section this year, you have a guest instructor, and it's Carlos Santana. Now you're going to charge extra course section fee for that one. So you can add fees, section fees too. I don't think you need this at your school. Maybe you do, I don't know. And maybe this is for finance, but it's attached to the course. And sometimes the people in finance will say to registrar, add a fee for this course. So I never know who does what. I just wanted you to know because I was going down this list. we have learned how to add a course section. Let me just go back real quick. No, that's not mine. So again, if I have a course or a course section pulled up, I can still, well, no, I take it back. If I have the course master pulled up, now I can add a new section. That's how let's say that after you do all the copies, you still need a new one. That's how you would do it. You would click on here. You would say school year 25, no, 26, 27. It's going to be for the fall. And then we were going to talk about sessions. So I do want to leave a little bit of time to talk about the sessions. Here's where you pick who's going to teach it and all of that. And it's just like those other ones. You go down the list. But this is if you need a new section, right? And your sections, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C through J, or I don't know. These came from your old system. These are from the data conversion. So we usually say just 1 or 2. Let me talk to you for just a few minutes because I only have 20 minutes left about sessions. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to your semester table. And I had this conversation yesterday with Senor Maldonado. Most of the time, a school has a fall semester, a spring semester, maybe a summer semester. These quarterlies, he said, and I was looking at these dates. This one starts in August and goes till October, and then this one starts in October and goes through January of the fall term. They are, so SONUS has a different way to handle that than adding a whole new semester.
Or period.
And it's the session. So in this test system of yours, I went ahead and I added Q1 and Q2, right? And then what you do is you create a section in the fall and you give it a session of Q1. That way, the up or the benefit is that if you have a student that's taking 4 credits in fall and 2 more in Q1 and 2 more in Q2, well, for financial aid, that has got to be a nightmare for your financial aid people to have to add up credits from multiple semesters just to see if this person is full-time eligible or half-time eligible. So instead of using semesters, starting with your fall, if you want, you can just come over here and let me just find one more course section. Here's a course section. And when you're adding it or updating it, either one, you just say it's in Q1, and you would add quarters 3 and 4 for your spring terms so that you can use them next year when you're building spring of 27. The dates do not, and let me come back over here, to the sessions table. Do not, you do not.
For the track.
Hello? Okay, you do not build. You're
No,
gonna
no.
build quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's all. And then every year, you just come and update the dates. You do not need to build more and more and more and more every year. You just change the dates when it's time. So that's also important. And also on your semesters, these dates need to be right, at least for the upcoming fall. Like fall semester, what does it start in August?
Okay, the other one.
Yes.
What? 6?
4th of August.
Oh. And it goes till December or something, I'm sure, or January.
Still December. No, see,
December 22.
22, 18 more or less.
Yes.
Okay, see, and now in your semester table, your dates are right. These are all dates from last spring and last summer. You want to go up and update those. But we're not so worried about these others yet. But it's very important that we get your fall semester data in right. And so you have the grades for fall of 25. That somebody is working on those, and then Senor Maldonado is going to get them in. Then you have the sections for spring, the enrollments for spring, and then the grades for spring. Before we even can get started, we really don't have a lot of time. The other thing, if you do decide to use the sessions, you can just disable these old quarter semesters, because they're still, you still have people in your system that took courses, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and more, and that's real data. But you can disable them so that you don't use them anymore. And all you have to do when you're ready is click on the link for the role and then check the box that says, now it's disabled. I'm not going to submit that. You don't have to. You can keep using these semesters like you've been. But it was my recommendation. I just asked, why do you have these other semesters that are really part of the fall semester? Maybe your old system didn't have a way to handle it, but Sonus does. Or maybe it works better for you, and that's okay too.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm gonna come over here. You can see, I'm not gonna be able to train on very much more of these things until we have like at least some spring enrollments in the system. This bulk roster move, that just says, and I'll try to show you, but it's a course section process. So if I come over here, one more time. Oh, this is my demo system. I'm sorry. Courses, history, conduct of research. There's a lot of things besides what I have showed you. You can enter attendance for the people in this course section. You can enter grades for the people in this course section. You can add a new section of this course. You can add people just right quick instead of going through the registration process. All of that. Bulk roster move is a tool that says, I want to move all these people in this class to a different section. I don't have a different section, but I would see it here. It has to be a different section in the same semester of the same course. And as long as, so the design purpose for this was for schools where you had a room and a class for 20 students, but now you have 35 students that want to take the course. Well, then you can add a new section and then you use this tool to move half of the people across. Oh, there goes the dogs. I am going to have to call it a day for today. I'm going to ask Mr. Maldonado to schedule us one more. He's going to have to work with your team. Let me stop this recording. And